caged one and put it in his cabinet, a rabid dog in his cabinet, put a collar on my cousin, RFK Jr., and has him there barking. I mean, when he's not making infomercials for Steak and Shake and Coca-Cola, he's spreading misinformation and lies that are leading to deaths around the country. There's a measles outbreak in America right now, higher than it's been in 40 years as a direct result of what he has done.
Jack Schlossberg, the grandson of former President John F. Kennedy, slamming his cousin, RFK Jr., over his policies as Secretary of Health and Human Services. There's a little bit more of what he had to say.
I don't think there's anything anyone can do to change what JFK, my grandparents, my mom, my Uncle John stood for. Nobody's that powerful. But RFK Jr. is a dangerous person who has making life and death decisions as Secretary of Health and Human Services. And you don't just have to take my word for it. Now we have an actual record to go on. He has cut a quarter of the people who work in his agency. He fired all the vaccine experts on the panel and replaced them with anti-vaxxers. He's cutting funding for life-saving research, cancer patients, giving them their last hope.
Schlossberg making those comments as he has announced that he plans to run for Congress in New York.
He joins an already crowded primary of Democrats looking to fill Jerry Nadler's seat after Nadler announced in early September that he would not seek re-election next year. But Schlossberg doesn't just have harsh words for his cousin. He's also made a name for himself in recent years as a vocal critic of Trump and seems to have made that criticism a cornerstone of his campaign. Take a listen.
The president has made almost $1 billion this year. He's picking winners and losers from inside the Oval Office. It's cronyism, not capitalism. And a constitutional crisis with one dangerous man in control of all three branches of government. We deserve better, and we can do better. And it starts with the Democratic Party winning back control of the House of Representatives. With control of Congress, there's nothing we can't do. Without it, we're helpless to a third term.
Schlossberg is also known for going on rants and delivering hot takes on social media. And he also spoke at the 2024 Democratic Convention in support of Kamala Harris. What do you make of all this, Robbie? Big fan of Jack Schlossberg, I imagine?
I am not. He deleted his social media accounts earlier this year and posted like a cryptic, "I'm sorry, everyone, and I'm going away now." It was almost like a concerning cry for help type message. So I don't know how it speaks to a kind of instability that I don't know makes him totally fit for running for Congress. But maybe our Congress is staffed with unstable people. I can name a few of them.
Both parties,
I don't want to be
both sides are at it.
Charged with defamatory, but I have a certain woman in mind. We'll just let that go. Look, he has every right, I guess, to speak up about whatever he hates, RFK Jr. If it were maybe a cousin isn't that close a relation. If it was a close member of my family, I would just not say anything because I think it's a little dishonorable to go after your family in that way. But the Kennedys are political people and they love running for office, and I don't think being a member of the Kennedy family and being passably good looking is enough of a resume to run for office, but good luck to him, I guess.
Certainly a number of ladies of my acquaintance enjoy his good looks, so maybe that'll be a big advantage to him. Look, I am not a big fan of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., as you know, and I'm very critical of various things that he has done. And I do think that the thing Schlossberg noted there about the panel of experts pertaining to vaccines is an important point to raise, and one where I would agree with him more than his cousin, the health secretary. That being said, I can't really sit in this seat criticizing Trump for the various forms of inflammatory language he uses and say it's great for Schlossberg to describe RFK Jr. as a rabid dog. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that that's very helpful language or very useful language to use, certainly not about a member of your family, but also about anyone who you disagree with politically. That seems excessive. The other broader point about the Kennedys. First of all, despite my Irishness, I've never quite been bowled over. I mean, I like the original RFK, like the current Health Secretary's father, and obviously John Kennedy, that speaks for itself. But the continued sort of dynastic power of the Kennedys, I'm not a huge, I just don't really like that. I don't like it either in the cases of the Bushes or the Clintons.
Same. And I thought that fever was kind of breaking, but the Kennedys are coming back into prominence in some way.
Right, because at one time a few years ago, didn't they not have anybody in elected office for the first time, like ever? And now Mr. Schlossberg is trying to correct that, I guess.
I mean, they're a family. For a while, they were the closest thing we had to a royal family, and they were beset with tragedies much like the royal family of England.
Yep.
That was compelling from a storytelling standpoint and a sympathy building standpoint. A lot of really awful things have happened to this family. It is noteworthy. It's unlikely and unusual how many tragedies they've endured, from JFK and RFK both being assassinated, dying tragically, other accidents that have plagued members of the family.
Chappaquiddick and all that.
Right, that. So I get why people find them compelling. There was I think, smoothing over of JFK because he was killed and assassinated. It was so shocking and so vile. There was then a almost deification of him, someone who was, I think, a very flawed, like morally a human being. His governance as leader of the country, I don't think was particularly appalling or necessarily particularly great. It was fine, but he was a more flawed man personally than the kind of lionizing of him there's been on. That's neither here nor there for whether his descendants should run for Congress or not. They're certainly entitled to do so if they feel so motivated. But it's really that's the only thing that they have to say.
I agree that there is a sort of celebrity fascination with them.
Yeah.
And this is based just on my own gut instinct, I'm not sure that they have as much political influence as they're said to have. Like, I remember back in, I guess, 2008, there was a whole big deal because the now deceased Ted Kennedy came out and endorsed Obama over Hillary Clinton in the Democratic primary. And there was this, it's a huge thing. I certainly don't think that was a defining or pivotal factor. Ted Kennedy was entitled to do it if he wanted to. It helped Obama, but it's not this sort of thing that, a Kennedy has decided this, so therefore Democrats are all just
it's definitely a boomer generation thing, right? The revering of the Kennedys predates you and I, and it is probably no longer a significant part of American politics. There are probably a lot of people who don't even know. If you're just a casual follower of politics, you don't even know who the Kennedys are. Or actually, if you know who the Kennedys are, you probably know from RFK Jr. is probably the figure who you associate with that name brand.
Absolutely. And in this case, in Schlossberg's case, I think there are about a dozen people in this primary, so it'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, is there any?
I don't think there's
he could win. He could win.
He could win. I guess because of his
crowded primary,
social media celebrity. But
although he doesn't actually have the literal last name Kennedy.
No, he doesn't.
Remind people that
he should change it. He should put it on the back. Schlossberg Kennedy should be on the back.
And there's all these people named Kennedy in our politics who are actually not even related to the family. Right? The Senator Kennedy is not related to the Kennedys, and we had a Supreme Court justice who was also not related to the Kennedys.
So
just a popular name in American politics.
Don't know where to go with it. A less popular name is Novak Djokovic, but Piers Morgan is offering an apology to the tennis legend who refused the COVID vaccine. More on that next.